Breaking news. Within Donald Trump's first 24 hours of becoming president, he signed the executive order. He kept his first promise to Bitcoin holders. And the big question now is what's next.
Ross Ulbricht, the creator of dark web marketplace Silk Road, has been pardoned by President Trump.
Donald Trump has pardoned Silk Road founder and big Bitcoiner Ross Ulbricht. Here is Ross Ulbricht walking free for the first time in over 10 years. You know he's about to be the headline speaker at Bitcoin Conference 2025. Use code Altcoin Daily for 10% off. But now the big question is what's next? Because executive orders don't just stop after day one. Odds that Trump will create a Bitcoin reserve in his first 100 days in office have jumped to 55%.
This is the executive orders in the first 100 days, all right? Here's Obama, okay, 0 through 100. He was right around 20 on day 100. Let me clear that off. Trump's first term now, okay? You see the escalation a little bit here. He clocked in a little more than 30 executive orders after 100 days. I'll clear that off. Here is Biden now, okay? So he's up here around 40 at the 100-day mark, and we're a long way from Trump's 100 days. But after 2.5, as we said a moment ago, here he is. Comes in right around 30 executive orders, or just shy of.
So this was a big signal to the crypto community that Trump will keep his promises about Bitcoin and crypto. Just as a quick reminder on why this is such a big deal, Ross Ulbricht, starting in February of 2011, when Bitcoin hardly had a market value yet, created a dark market called Silk Road. Bitcoin could be used for transactions, one of the first real big use cases for Bitcoin, and then he eventually got sentenced to 2 lifetime sentences plus 40 years because this market was used for illegal activities. Now, nobody is saying Ross Ulbricht is a saint. I mean, he's a big libertarian. He didn't really believe, I don't believe, that governments should have a lot of control over individuals. But did he deserve 2 lifetime sentences plus 40 years for creating a marketplace? Bitcoiners thought that was a little excessive. They've been fighting for his release or something for over 10 years. But to all of us now, this just says that Trump, at least he's 1 for 1, is aiming to keep his promises for crypto holders.
If I am elected, it will be the policy of my administration, United States of America, to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the U.S. government currently holds or acquires.
He technically has his entire presidency to make this happen, but realistically, his first 100 days.
We'll start with the 210,000 Bitcoin that President Trump just mentioned, and that's only the beginning. Over 5 years, the United States will assemble 1 million Bitcoin, 5% of the world's supply.
And the good news is, legislation is happening with or without him. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve legislation is gaining momentum. 11 states, including Florida, Wyoming, and Massachusetts, have introduced bills to secure Bitcoin as part of their state reserves. States need a Bitcoin reserve arguably more than the United States because the United States can print their own money. These states are subject to whatever they hold. But according to head of the Bitcoin conference, who platformed Trump when he was campaigning, head of the Bitcoin conference, he says, "Tonight is about Ross, but I'll share this since I'm getting a ton of questions. I'm still expecting dedicated Bitcoin plus crypto executive orders in the coming days. I don't know what they'll say or exactly when they'll drop. I also fully expect the president to deliver on the strategic Bitcoin reserve in his first 100 days. And these crypto executive orders will is expected to be huge for positive regulation moving forward. Anthony Pompliano on Fox Business explains.
What would be the ideal way to regulate crypto?
Well, I think there's 2 different things. The SEC's got to get clear rules in place. Obviously, Bitcoin is through the regulatory threshold. I think it's very well accepted. It's not a security, and investors are going to continue to buy that asset and hold that asset. But there's a whole nother plethora of assets that exist in the market, and people want to know, are these securities? Are they not? How should they be treated? The second thing is not only regulation, which this crypto task force is focused on, but also what can Donald Trump do to further push this forward? More than 50% of his net worth is now in the crypto market. And so obviously he's paying attention to this. But I think there's 3 things. They can repeal SAB 121, which would allow banks to hold these assets and make it more safe for people. The second thing is that we can establish a Bitcoin strategic reserve and have the United States government now buying Bitcoin in the market. And then the third thing is we should change the tax treatment of these assets. Right now, if you buy goods or services with Bitcoin, even though it's a currency, you still pay capital gains tax.
At least one of these things, I'm thinking the repeal of SAB 121 to allow banks to custody crypto. But one of these things should be coming in the coming days. And then the strategic Bitcoin reserve within 100. It has never been more important to stay up to date on the daily news of crypto. Click subscribe. And again, pay attention to the signals. Larry Fink talking 500,000 to 700,000 per Bitcoin.
As I became a student of crypto, it was very clear to me that crypto is a currency of fear.
Listen to this 2-minute clip of Larry Fink educating and really selling the high net worth clientele at the Davos conference, which is huge, on why they need to buy and hold Bitcoin. Again, pay attention to the signals.
And that's okay.
To some extent.
Yeah, but that's okay, because if you're frightened of your debasement of your currency, or you're frightened of your economic or political stability of your country, you could have an internationally based instrument called Bitcoin that will overcome those local fears. And so I'm a big believer in the utilization of that as an instrument. And so if that becomes true, and you see that it could be a proper hedge against maybe hope security or equities, the question is, could you see a 2 or 5% allocation? I was with a sovereign wealth fund during this week, and that was the conversation. Should we have a 2% allocation? Should we have a 5% allocation? If everybody adopted that conversation, it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 per Bitcoin.
And looking at adoption news for leading altcoins, say sup to Neo Blockchain, a new layer 1 ecosystem integrated with Supra's powerful Oracle and randomness services. So this is a win-win and big validity that Neo chose to integrate with Supra. As we grow Supra Layer 1, we're also here to help builders across Web3 get faster, fresher, and more secure Oracle price feeds and on-chain verifiable randomness. That's why some people call Supra the Chainlink killer or Solana killer. And looking at the latest TA news, golden cross for Bitcoin dominance incoming. Be careful with alts. And if we wanted to chart that out in real time, number one, we'd go into the video description of any one of our daily videos, click on channel partner BitUnix, and use Altcoin Daily for up to 5,500 in trading bonuses. But once we're here, we'll go on over to futures, switch the Bitcoin chart from the 8-hour to the day chart, look at indicators, moving averages, and a golden cross is when a shorter term moving average, the 50, crosses over a longer term moving average, the 200, signaling short-term bullish momentum. Now you'll notice here, where's the cross? Well, this is Bitcoin dominance, meaning potentially Bitcoin versus altcoins is about to rise. That's why we should be careful with alts. I prefer to trade the Bitcoin price chart. But if you're looking, don't forget to take advantage of the bonuses, and keep in mind, while Bitcoin is dominating much of the conversation today, I loved this perspective. 2 weeks ago, Solana was considered an illegal security offering by the SEC. This weekend, the president launched a meme coin on Solana. The change in DC is not remotely priced in.
I saw filings in the last week for new crypto products around Solana, ETFs coming, XRP ETFs, that's Ripple, by the way. And I'm sure we're going to see more products around. I hear about bundling cryptos into indexes, putting multiple crypto products into indexes.
Altcoins are coming. As I get more info, I will keep you updated. And like always, see you tomorrow.